Hey everybody, Trendy John here at Simpler Trading. Want to go ahead and go over my pick for this week, which is going to be NVIDIA. This is part of our free video that we're sending out, and I want to talk about what to expect in NVIDIA coming into this week. The first thing that I want to go over with you is our blueprint that I shared here in the central room and in the Trendy Trading room. And that was our first dip buy trigger, and you can see that price came right into that 849 area. It then picked up and pushed all the way into the supply zone, also identified several weeks ago. So about 2 weeks ago, I believe we put this blueprint out. Now, if you did not take the trade at 849, that's okay. We also had the breakout trigger, which was at 910, and the trigger off of this pushed also into this area. It's just that one of these levels provided almost or just over $100+ to the upside. The other area you can see pushed up a good $40 to $50 from the 910 trigger. Now, you should be asking yourself, is the run over or do we continue? And with a short week, I think it's important that you stay very patient this week. There are a couple or a number of things that I want to point out to you. The first thing is going to be the 9 EMA. That is what this cloud is, and I'm just going to outline it so that you can understand anytime that price comes into this cloud, we want to look for buyers to show up. In the event the supply zone works, I would wait patiently to see if we can come back at least anywhere between 928 and then into this level at 910 again. Okay. So again, we have rejected the supply zone. We are now underneath the supply zone. Notice that the trendy edge here is your support. So your near-term support, if you will, starting tomorrow, is going to be this level. That level is at or around 936.5. We could just call it 937 to 936. This is going to be your near-term support. We'll go ahead and put that level there. Again, if we break down below that level, I would be looking for prices to come into the top of this wick, okay, right there, and all the way into the 9 EMA. So 926 and some change into 910. This area going into this week would be an area that I would be looking for buyers. So let's go ahead and identify that. We'll put buyers in here. This could also be considered a buy zone, and we'll get to that here in a few seconds. This, again, is a supply zone. This is going to be the entry into that supply zone. Let's talk about it really fast. I call this the bear house. And if you will, we could put a little roof on it, give you a little of an idea here. Anytime you're in the bear house, you have to step with tact. You have to be careful because at any time they can push you out of here. Again, this is a supply zone. If price can hold value above 952, then we can look for price to continue to move up towards 962 tomorrow or the next day whenever we decide to get over this 952 level. And then if value or buyers can hold above this level of around 962, 964, then you have a higher probability of seeing 980. Now notice, once again, the zone is working. This is what's supposed to happen. And we had a great opportunity to buy here and sell here, or buy here on the breakout and sell here, or at least bring those stops up. Let's talk about potential targets to the upside if for some reason we break above 980.5. What we're going to do is click the wheel on your mouse. That's going to bring up this right here. We are going to select the Fibonacci extension. The reason why we choose the Fibonacci extension is because we do not have structure up and to the left over this all-time high. So let's go ahead and do that now. I get the question a lot of times, where do we select the range? It really depends on how long you want to be in the trade. For right now, I'm going to show you two different levels, and we're going to combine those levels for targets. I'm going to use the Fibonacci arc. I'm going to use it here into the all-time high, which is right here. We're going to double click. Let's find that 23.6 and 38.2. And then we are going to use the Fibonacci extension once again. And instead of using it here, we are going to anchor it here and come up to the all-time high. And again, they don't have to be perfect. We're going to double click. We're going to use that 23.6 as well. Let's go ahead and erase all of these Fibonacci extensions. Now we have ourselves some targets to the upside. Those targets over the all-time high of 973, 974 level are going to be 988, 1001, 1020. So let's talk about this one more time. We want to see that price can at least get over, let's go ahead and round that up to 952. I'd like to see a solid, probably at least 2 to 4 hours above that level. It doesn't mean I wouldn't take the execution immediately, but I would like to see that at the end of the day. Again, we need to hold a base inside this entry level of 952. If for some reason the supply zone works, the market continues to pull back in this cycle going into the next couple days, my entry is for a long. I want to be looking for some sort of support here around 936. And if that breaks, then I am definitely interested as we come into the buy zone where our 9 EMA is and where we also have some trendy edges. These are my two areas where I'd like to enter the trade. This area is something that I like better. I always like buying the dip opposed to a breakout trade, but these are two entry levels. I don't want to necessarily go short here. It's a short week. So therefore, I'd rather buy the dip. Going back to the broad market analysis that I sent out on Sunday, please review that so that you understand my overall thought into this week, and we will execute based off of that. One day down today in the ES futures, we'll talk about it really quick. This is important. I want us to see where we are. Okay, again, ES futures, this is 1-2 days. Most cycles last 2 to 3 days down, 2 to 3 days up. For example, 1, 2, 3, we get the fourth, we then start to consolidate 1, 2, and again, the 9 EMA is just below, a lot like the NVDA chart that I just showed you. So really, if for some reason we get a gap down tomorrow, I would expect NVIDIA to also pull back into that buy zone. And then we have some confluence in the market at these same levels. So again, I personally would like to see ES gap down and or cycle down towards 52, 54. Like to see NVIDIA pull back, and then I would be looking to buy that dip. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Have an amazing day.